Hi, I'm Rocco Trapanese, Managing Director of Career Scout Japan. And today I'm here with Matthew Tom, Recruiting Director for our Human Resources team. So Matthew.
Yes.
Tell us all about Human Resources recruiting today.
What would you like to know?
Well, okay. I think lots of HR professionals want to know what a good match would be for their career. Maybe what they can do to take the next step. What advice would you give them regarding matching?
There are a couple of factors to take into consideration when you're thinking about matching. Something that's often said in the human resources function is, at the end of the day, HR people are managing people. So they're a little bit more versatile and can usually transition to other industries a lot easier than maybe other functions like finance or supply chain. However, when transitioning from one industry to another, it's also important to consider some of the responsibilities that you're taking care of in HR. For example, hiring or culture building. And some of these things might look very different from, for example, a retail company to maybe a blue-collar manufacturing company. The types of employees that you're dealing with, the types of positions that you're recruiting for. Again, the skill set for hiring is the same, but the environment and the other factors will play a major role in how well you succeed in that new role. So we usually advise our candidates to consider first an industry that either they've experienced or something related. This will usually, again, help them transition easier and have a higher chance of succeeding faster. You also want to consider your position level, and if the next position is going to either expand your responsibilities or be a promotion, or ideally give you some new experiences that you haven't gained yet, that will help you to expand your career or raise your market value. So these are a couple of important factors that are important to consider when thinking about, what is a good match.
Oh, very good. What about the most effective way to work with the recruiter to have a good result for their job search?
Yes, so a lot of people are actually not aware of how much a recruiter can do for you. So it's important to think of your recruiter as your ally and somebody that you can also use to proactively find, ideally, the job of your dreams. So rather than just waiting for updates from your recruiter after your initial consultation meeting, it's important to, again, proactively use your recruiter. For example, in your first meeting, you might want to outline ideally what requirements that you have for your job search, but also it might be good to maybe bring a list of the ideal companies you'd like to work for. Present that to your consultant, and a lot of times these consultants will either have relationships with those clients, companies, or they'll be able to, for example, start new business with these clients. And this is a win-win for both sides. One, they'll be able to help you find your dream job. Two, they're also developing their business as well, so they're highly incentivized to help you. So partnering with your recruiter, communicating with them clearly about what you want to do, and then also being quite open. We recommend to our candidates that, of course, it's ideal to have your requirements and preferences, but in the beginning, try to start wide. Be a little bit open. Sometimes your recruiter may be able to recommend positions to you that you never thought would be valuable for your career, but they're coming from a professional perspective when they're recommending those roles. So it's important to think a little bit more wide in the beginning. And then as you start to interview at different companies, again, communicate with your recruiter. Tell them what you like, what you didn't like. They'll start to get their matching better as well. And as you go on, you'll ideally be able to whittle down those jobs and then hopefully have just a few jobs that are ideally matching what you're looking for. And hopefully in the best case scenario, you get multiple offers where you can choose one from.
That sounds very strategic. Speaking of strategic thinking, what should a candidate do if they have multiple offers, or if they get an offer and they need to think if they'll accept it or not, or stay at their current job? What advice do you have for them?
This is one of the most challenging parts of finding a new job. It's a great result to ideally have multiple offers. It says a lot about the candidate that, again, you're a great candidate. You've made a great impression on all of these companies. But when you're trying to make this decision, a lot of emotions will overwhelm you, a lot of different information. So it's important to take a step back and think logically. So what we advise our candidates to do is ideally come up with the top 3 reasons why you decided to change your job in the first place. Some people it's work-life balance, some people it's a higher salary, some people it's a promotion. But try to decide what are the top 3 most important factors for you. Now, after that, look at different companies that are offering you and make a list of the pros and cons. Based on, again, not all pros and cons, but on those 3 factors. Which company has better work-life balance, which company has a better salary. And just because one company has a better salary doesn't mean it's the better company for you. So once you have all of this information outlined, you'll be ideally able to make a logical decision, not just an emotional decision, but again, a logical decision.
Sounds like a really good systematic approach. Matt, what areas do you usually recruit for? Which industries?
I usually recruit for more B2B and life sciences industries. For example, medical device manufacturing, industrial trading, and some pharmaceutical companies as well. Specifically, usually I specialize in head of HR positions for, again, more small to mid-size foreign companies in Japan. So my sweet spot is about 50 to 200 employees in Japan, that size. Your local head of HR, I've filled over 20 positions in 2023 for exactly these types of positions. So this is more of my area of expertise.
Great track record. Well, if you're an HR BP and you want to challenge a head of HR position, or you're a head of HR and you'd like to understand your market value, especially amongst B2B industrial trading and medical device life science companies, I think Matthew Tom would be very happy to talk with you. Anyway, you can see more about our human resources positions open on our website. That's careerscout.co.jp. We'll be doing our best to support in 2024, and hopefully we'll have a chance to talk. Thank you so much. Matt, thank you for today.
Thank you.